Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Big up Phil, thank you for that. Big up Vic, big up Ollie, big up Danny, big up all the crew in the house. Blinky Fish, the lot of yous. I hope you are all doing well this morning. Happy Monday and the start of another fantastic week at Leeds United. Big up to Jay, who was on last night's Final Word, which is doing really well. I want to know in the chat as well, folks, if you're enjoying the new short form content that I've been putting out across the socials and on YouTube Shorts, etc. Goal reactions, just bit from podcasts and stuff. You'll be seeing a hell of a lot more than that. It's a bit, yeah. So big up to my man as well. Headley Carter, big up to you. Afternoon to you all. Afternoon, lunchtime Leeds. We're here to talk about the latest Leeds United transfer news. Phil Hay did a bit of an article, and I've seen some information that I'm not overly happy with, and not. I'm quite surprised at. I just think it's the number of games that our man Cooper's played so far. Basically, it's come out in The Athletic, according to Phil. I will share my screen, as I always like to do, so you can read along with. Obviously, it's just talking about Luke Ayling's deal and things going on at the football club. And it does say in The Athletic, somewhere down the line, though, not in this window, Cooper is highly likely to follow, with all the indications that his deal will not be renewed in May. He is more involved under Farke than Ayling was, and a presence on match days, if not routinely in the lineup. Obviously, if Strauch's fit, he doesn't come in. He might even struggle now to get in with the fact that Ampadu's played as well there, and the fact that Gruyev must be, well, can play midfield to a level which is unbelievable, in my opinion. There has been a conscious decision that most of the remaining members of Bielsa's title winners are far too beyond the peak of their powers, which I think is fair enough in that respect. I'm just a bit surprised, as I said, that the club are going to move Cooper on just because of the amount of minutes. Maybe there is a little bit of a tinge of sadness, and me being a bit of a passion merchant, that I do want these players to stay forever. Realistically, they cannot. They do think as well, the fact that Strauch's been injured, then Cooper's got injured, which is unfortunate for him, and then Ampadu's deputised there and done as well as he has. We know he's played centre-back before. He's done that at Wales. He's done that at Spezia. He's done it at other clubs. He's played there a hell of a lot. We prefer him in the 6. I think he prefers to play in the 6. But when you've got Gruyev, who can also play there, I think Cooper's minutes actually could be even, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say lesser. Yeah, even smaller. Yeah. I think Cooper's minutes will be even lesser. Is that even a word? Like, my head's even fewer. Yeah. Cooper's minutes will be even fewer than than before his injury, because now you have Ampadu play there. Listen, I think Gruyev has to keep his place. I think Ampadu should keep his place at centre back, just due to the fact that Gruyev had played as well as he did. Now, I know there is a lot of credit in the bank for Ampadu, but he was that good for me that you can't then say to him, you're now going on the bench. That's it, James. Minutes diminished. That was it, man. See? Thank you very much for that, James. So, chain of events, Strauch gets injured, Cooper's in. Then Cooper gets injured, Ampadu plays there. Gruyev has a 10 out of 10 performance, 9 out of 10 performance. How can you make changes there? So, if indeed we do need cover at left centre-back, you're not going to be looking to Cooper. You're going to be looking to Ampadu. Maybe that means the club will then look at it and say, do you know what? I'm happy for Creswell to go. We don't need cover at centre-back. I hope they don't go with that. I think we should bring in a young up-and-coming centre-back. You could argue that's Creswell, but for whatever reason, him and Farke don't see eye to eye. 10 times out of 10, I'm going to side with the manager if I like the manager, but I think Smarty made a fantastic point yesterday on how, managers can't always get it right, because look at how Christensen dealt with Matthias Klick, and then look what happened with Matthias Klick's career at Leeds United. He was unbelievable, and one of my favourite players. I've got a bloody tattoo of him on my fucking leg. Do you know what I mean? This is so, it's key to remember that, and that's me saying out loud to myself that I need to remember that at times, that the manager isn't always right, even if you like him, because we've seen that. Gary Paul says, hold on, were you on time? 1 p.m. on the button, mate. Probably 30 seconds before. I've got up this morning at a decent time, had a sausage sandwich, a couple of coffees, tidy around the house, and now I'm here, fit, ready, raring to go for you folks. Not many games on this week either, so I was just having a look whether or not I do the FA Cup games, City West, Bristol City, West Ham, Blackpool Forest, maybe Sunderland, Hull on Friday. We play obviously Sunday, but I'm going to do the Swansea Saints game. That's the early kickoff on Saturday morning, so I'm definitely going to do that. So keep it locked, you know where it's at. We're going to do a scouting report this week as well. We're just waiting to hear back from Lockie on what his availability is. Obviously, Lockie's at uni and also working now for a football club, doing bits as well, so he's quite busy at the minute. But when he gives us some time, we'll get a scouting report, and we are going to be. We were tossing up between a striker and a centre back. I think it's more likely that we go for a centre back, so we're going to take a look at some centre backs on the next scouting report. Owen, potentially, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, we've still got 16 days. There is more days left in the window than has gone, so I'm not losing my head. Like I did in the summer, and I did do this in the summer, but I think a lot of that was fallout due to the previous regime. And, the whole contract situation, I now see it as, right, it is a totally different regime, and that's a learning for myself. And the 49ers have my trust up to this point. So, yeah. Big up to Dave, my mate. He says, you caught me out, Joy. Either I didn't get a notification or I missed it, so I'm watching 5 minutes behind. No worries, Dave. When you get this, hi. From the future, I'm coming to you from the future, mate. 1 o'clock every day, unless something happens. So, for example, Wednesday, I'm not available at 1, I don't think. My son's going for his autism test, so I'm fucking buzzing because we've been waiting absolutely ages. So yeah, I can't wait to go and find out, so I'm really excited for that, actually, because the wait list for any sort of bloody NHS or thing, and it's not their fault, it's the government's fault. But anyway, Scott says, watching live whilst roasting coffee right now. Big up to you. I've got a coffee machine and I used it for about 2 weeks and then sacked it off. I really need to get back to it. I did put a poll in the chat, folks, to find out if you felt it was the right decision on Cooper being given a new deal. And we've had just under 200 votes, and 70% say no. It's a resounding no. 30% saying yes, he should be given a new deal. Look, I never want these folks to leave, do I? And I'll just be honest and say that. But I think there needs to be a conversation as well with the fact that Ampadu played as well as he did there. Do you know what I mean? And it's not even about Ampadu playing as well as he did there. We knew that Ampadu could play well there. It's more the case of how well Gruyev done. How well Gruyev done means now, okay, we're okay to rest Ampadu. Okay, we're okay to put Ampadu in centre-back because Gruyev's just going to give us exactly the same. He's just going to give us exactly the same. We will touch on this story in just a sec. It's on the list to do, mate. It's a story that's doing the rounds. I will have a chat about it with you. I just wanted to talk about the Cooper one first of all. Let's talk about Ben Johnson as well. Ben Johnson, again, this is from Team Talk, James Marshman and co. Big up to James, by the way. They're saying, because the interesting thing, I always felt that West Ham were going to offer Ben Johnson a new deal. He did turn down a contract a few years back, a 6-year deal at that time. Turned it down, and they were supposed to re-enter talks last January. Didn't. And now he has 6 months left. And there was all this talk of loan and stuff, and it's like, well, they're not going to loan him because that's same as Ayling, that's same as Koch. At the end of his loan, he's a free agent. So is it going to be a permanent deal? And it would have to be, unless West Ham are going to offer him a contract. And I don't think they are. There's no noises of that. But now, apparently, La Liga duo are looking at the West Ham defender. One of them being Pellegrini's Real Betis side, who I'm assuming, again, I'm only assuming, I should have probably fact-checked this, but I believe that he managed Ben Johnson when he was at West Ham. We remember, obviously, Pellegrini was at West Ham. So yeah, sorry. West Ham defender Ben Johnson is being lined up for a move. Let me get the article back up. There we go. So West Ham defender Ben Johnson is being lined up for a move to La Liga, with Real Betis and Villarreal chasing his signature. Johnson is due to become a free agent in the summer and is yet to agree a new deal to extend his stay at the London Stadium. A number of clubs in England, including Leeds, Southampton, Sheffield United, have expressed an interest in Johnson signing this month. Now, if I'm being totally honest, I've not seen anything on Saints, not seen anything on Sheffield United. First time reading that, okay? The England under-21 international is free to talk to interested foreign clubs and could sign a pre-contract with either of his suitors in Spain. Obviously, this is the ruling. They can sign six months early. Real Betis boss Pellegrini is a big fan of Johnson, having worked with him during his time in charge at West Ham, and he's keen on a reunion with the fullback. Pellegrini gave Johnson his debut at West Ham back in February, and he has continued to keep tabs on his progress in East London. Villarreal are also scouring England for prospective bargain transfers, and Johnson fits the profile for the type of signing they are after. He's played a bit part role this season. He got one start in the Premier League, which was more recently against Brighton. 100 appearances though for West Ham. It's not bad going, is it? But he is quite down the pecking order. I believe Ryan Fredericks played ahead of him, who's now at Bournemouth, I believe. He's got Soufal in front of him as well. Just the current situation. So Pellegrini currently has former Arsenal vice-captain Hector Bellerin and Yusuf Sabalai at right back, but they are getting on. Villarreal have Juan Foyth, who Leeds United were linked to on a number of occasions, and previous former Watford player Kiko Femina. So that's the current situation. Maybe they'll look at that. They'll just speak about Leeds' situation here as well. It is a little bit concerning for me as a Leeds United fan, because of this being able to sign a pre-contract agreement 6 months early with a club in Spain. I don't know where the story of 60k a week's come from. I don't know what he's earning currently. We will have a look though, folks. Just bear with me one moment. And I don't mean it isn't true, by the way. I'm just interested to know where people have seen the 60 grand a week story. I've not seen that yet. So if you've got that, or you know where it is, then please do send it over so I can take a look. Get it up, yeah, Michael. Yeah, man. Right, okay. Let me have a look then for Ben Johnson. So I'll share with you now on Copology what he's currently on. So can you see that on the screen? Yeah. Ben Johnson, and that's got the verified ticket as well. So he's on 20 grand a week. There's no way someone's paying him an extra 40 grand a week, especially when you consider he's going to be receiving a signing on fee, which will be, maybe that's how you sweeten a deal. But I just don't see how you. I mean, Vladimir Soufal's on 35, for God's sake. So where these stories of 60 grand a week are coming from is bullshit. Ben Rama's on 55, Fornell's 65, Fabianski 65. You think Ben Johnson wants 60 grand a week? Come on now. That's wild. He was offered a new deal. So where are we seeing this? Can someone, do you know what? If this is true, no wonder West Ham aren't wanting to give him a new deal. I wouldn't want to give him a new deal. How are you going to break? How are you going to say to Ben Johnson and the rest of your squad, yes, we're willing to give you 60 grand a week, when the likes of Maxwell Cornet, I know he doesn't play much, but he was brought in last summer. Ben Rama, Fornells are all on that wage. They actually contribute a lot more than what Ben Johnson does. So, yeah, I can understand. I mean, look at Orgard. He'd be on more than Orgard. Yeah, nah, definitely not. So from a West Ham perspective, if that is true, I can understand why they've gone, no, we're not giving you that, Ben. Yeah, but there will be, there is that to consider as well, mate. The fact that you're saving on a transfer fee, but there will be a signing on fee for the player as well. But yeah, 60 grand a week, I just can't see it. Mark Story's tagged me in it, actually. This is back from 9th of November, so this is only last month. Let's have a look. Thank you for that, Mark Story, by the way. Let me just share this then. Cheers for sending us that, mate. So we'll see what they've got to say. So, out of favour, Ben Johnson's contract demands have been revealed, with his agent wanting 60 grand a week for the player to sign a new deal. Well, I'm sorry. This might be a deal Leeds United will struggle to do. I can't lie. Thank you for that, Mark. This might be a deal Leeds United struggle to do. And I'm okay with that, because demands of 60 grand a week for Ben Johnson. And like they've said here, he's only played one first team game this season at Lincoln in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Since then, he's played in the Premier League. Johnson and his agents believe the club should agree to their extraordinary demands. Johnson played for the under-21s earlier this week to keep match fit, and he's likely to be sold in January if there are any takers. They'll want to cash in before his contract runs out. Listen, I like Ben Johnson, but if he wants 60 grand, he can get in the bin. And I say that because why his agent as well believes he deserves parity with the likes. And listen, I know Fornells is not the main man anymore, will be sold, you know. Ben Rama potentially could be sold if the right bidder came in. They've moved on a little bit in terms of their quality with the likes of Kudos and, you know, others in midfield that Edson Alvarez and stuff. They have gone up a level, especially with the Declan Rice money. But yeah, there's no way he deserves parity with the likes of Fornells and Ben Rama when you consider at that point as well. He'd played one game in the Carabao Cup. Since then, he's started another game in the Premier League. I don't know what Wacko, as in the actual Wacko site, or the Wacko guy on Twitter, because the Wacko guy on Twitter is not, he just takes stuff from there. It's not happening. I think it'd be almost too quiet, bro. Like, we'd have heard something, I think. But yeah, for me, Ben Johnson, you're not getting 60 grand a week. Nor does he deserve that, even if dropping down to our division. You know, he's clearly got a lot of potential, but not enough potential for West Ham to say, yeah, he is 60 grand a week. Let's consider what Leeds United's wage structure looks like as well, and where he would fit into that. There's no way that you can be putting him on similar wage bracket of these folks. Do you know what I mean? I would be okay with giving him something around this mine, you know, 20 to 30. And I even think that's maybe, but obviously he's coming from the Premier League, he has potential, etc. But for me, if he wants 60, then Leeds United shouldn't sign him. I wouldn't want to sign him for 60 grand a week. I don't know how you folks feel about that. Not when you, because this is what you do, right? You've then got the likes of Somerville, Nonto, knocking on that door, saying, listen, you brought this kid in, he's on 60 grand a week, you having a laugh? Do you know what I mean? So it can cause rumbling. So Leeds United, if that's genuine, if that report on Twitter from West Ham for the reason for his deal being, you know, rejected at the time due to him wanting 60 grand a week, mental. So yeah, if that's true, let him go to Spain. Genuinely, bringing Connor Roberts on loan. We don't want to be, you know, breaking the bank for Ben Johnson. No, not in my opinion, anyway. Not that's, yeah. Hopefully, he's had a bit of a bang to earth. Jack says Pironi on 50. Yeah. Not bad, is it? Not bad. But again, what that shows us, mate, his deal could be made up with goal bonuses, appearance bonuses. But this is something that we don't get eyes on. But I'd imagine with the 49ers, they're very savvy on. They're not giving away money like that previous regime. Do you know what I mean? They're not making errors like that. Definitely not. To see that he is only on 15k is decent. Joe says, hi all. Wage demands could easily be a way of effectively saying, I want to move if you want me to stick. Yeah, that's fair as well, Joe. Maybe he's speaking to his agent and saying, mate, I want to play. Right, we'll ask for this. Because he'll sit on the bench for 60. They probably might not give it you. Run down your deal. We'll get you some money. Do you know what I mean? Can I ask your opinion? Firpo Byram at left back. Connor was saying Firpo this morning. I've seen a lot from Firpo in the last few games going forward where I would tend to lean to that, but it depends on the opposition. Would I want him playing against... If I know we're not going to have the lion's share of possession, which we do in the majority of games, but let's say we're playing Leicester, other teams, then I'm not convinced because I still think defensively he's garbage. He's really poor. So it depends on the opposition. It does. But I would have to lean with, at this moment, and it's a lot of recency bias, I'd have to agree with Connor in that situation and say Firpo. And I'm a massive fan of Byram and what a switch around that is. But Firpo's looks so good going forward. And he offers us so much being left-footed. I didn't realise just how vital that was until Firpo's come in and actually played some games. But again, he went off injured, man, with a dead leg. Knowing Firpo will be out for 6 months. Not for me, mate, no. Gray's streets ahead. Even in that position, Joe, Gray's streets ahead for me. Do you know what I'm actually excited for as well? I'm actually excited for Preston to see Gray with that bit between his teeth. Probably is aware. You've got to remember, Archie Gray is a young lad. Archie Gray... He's 17. He's come through. Listen, he's a fan. It wouldn't surprise me if the likes of Gray and stuff have watched content. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they were still young'uns when Bielsa came in. He was 15. There could be a case that these folks have watched content and much more aware of social media and might have seen some fans saying he can't play this, he can't do that. And I think he will want to right wrongs. Personally. So if Archie, by any stretch of the imagination, is watching this, know that your boy's backed you, and I know you're going to smash Liam Miller to bits at the weekend and show him how to get on. And I think that's what we'll see. I don't want to see Byram at right back personally, just because of how well Gray has done there. But again, it's all about opinions. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that Byram can't do a job there, because he can. And that's his natural side. But I wouldn't give over, Danny, man. Give over. Did you see him against Peterborough? He got cooked a few times. Gray's no slouch. Gray's no slouch at all. But listen, I need to be careful calling out you, because you called the Paddy Bamford situation. So big up to you, my man. Definitely not, Mikey. Definitely not. I'll have that bet with you. That Gray pockets Liam Miller. But then again, a lot of that could be due to the fact they'll barely see the fecking ball. Do you know what I mean? I think they'll. Wacko1919, 31 seconds says, are you ready, you impatient lot? There ain't no way. There ain't no way without anybody knowing that something's going to be announced. Definitely not. So on to the next stuff then. Let's talk about this Sinisterra development that's been reported on by Dean Jones. So Leeds United CEO Angus Kinnear previously criticised Sinisterra for the way he handled this move. With this in mind, many people believed the 24-year-old wouldn't have a future at Ellen Road. But Jones has been told otherwise, with the transfer insider telling Give Me Sport they've got this situation about Sinisterra to deal with because they have still got him on their books. Although he's out in loan, I'm told that he could have a future at Leeds. I've seen people playing this down because of fallouts that he had in the past at the club, but I don't think that matters, and Sinisterra is still good enough to have a future at Leeds. That needs to be cleared up while they still have Brandon Aronson as well. Leeds have got lots of big name situations that need to be cleared up before they can fully commit to signing more creative players. Now, people won't like me for saying this. Would I take Sinisterra back? Yes. Do I think he's a top player? Yes. We didn't see anywhere near close to what he can do due to injuries, maybe the pace of the Premier League, getting up to speed. If you look at his time at Feyenoord, crazy numbers. As I say, I would take him back. Anybody now that hears this and says, you're full of shit, he did this, he did that. We said the same about Nonto. Football is a fickle game. We as football fans are fickle. If Sinisterra came in, put his head down, accepted the boos that naturally will come his way and start scoring goals for Leeds United, we will soon forget. Luis Sinisterra is a top player. Unfortunately, we didn't see the best of him, but he was already involved early doors in the Championship. So if we got promoted, like I said, there's some sort of issue with the deal. If we get promoted, we have him back or something. I don't know the ins and outs of it right now, right? But if we got promoted and Sinisterra came back in and was willing to stay, then I'd be totally fine with that, because he's unreal. He's unreal. You know, and it gives you more options. It means you don't have to spend again in the summer. You know, if you can allow Sinisterra to come back, it means it's another area of the pitch that you don't need to improve on, or at least you've got more bodies there. And you can then maybe look to put some more money into a number 9 that's worthy of the Premier League. Because as good as Bamford's been, he's not a Premier League striker anymore. Definitely not. Issues, yeah. I'm not saying right now. But in the summer, it's a totally different ball game. I think it is a totally different ball game. And again, I have to agree with Jamie. It's a totally different level. It's a totally different level. James's games come on massively, measurably, but in the Premier League, Man United, he did well for a spell. Leeds United didn't work out for him. Yes, we were playing him out of position. Didn't get in at Fulham. Come to the Championship, lit it up. I just don't know if he's got the technical ability for it to work in the Premier League. Still keep him. Yeah, again, agree with Jamie. What's happened? But I think, would I take Sinisterra starting over James in the Premier League? Yes. Does deserve another shot, Vic. I'm not writing that off by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, what I am going to do, I'm going to ask the poll. We did one for Cooper. I'm now going to put a poll in the chat. Would you take Cini back? Okay. Now try and I get it. Everyone's back. Listen, I was as bad as many saying you know, Nonto's a rat, etc. Still stand by that point. But now, cool. I'm calm with it. He's come in. He's got his head down, and there we go. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Please hear me. Don't twist my words. And I'm not saying you've done that, but please hear what I'm saying. James does deserve another crack. James has improved immeasurably. James has shut a lot of fans up, myself included. You know, some backed him before the season. I was ready to bin him off. He has turned around a host of opinions, but I still think you would need to definitely improve in them areas in the Premier League. But then again, we need to improve all over the shop. You know, we do now, but we definitely need a right back, a left back. We'd need some more bodies in midfield. We'd need an addition in the 10 on the right for bodies. We'd need a new number 9. You know, more centre backs. There is loads to do. George just said promotion dependent. If we don't go up, there's a 20 million fee for Cini that we'll need for PNS on the fence, even if in the Premier League. So there you go. We may have the option to keep him. And according to this folk here, let me just put the screen back up for you. According to Dean Jones, Football Insider, so that was his name, yeah. They've called him a transfer insider. I don't actually know this guy, Dean Jones. Right, but anyway, he's been talking to Give Me Sport, which Ben Jacobs does a lot, probably cash in the bank for that sort of stuff. But yeah, but he's right in the Cine situation. We just don't know how real the the situation is about them maybe considering him coming back. Now, again, I can't have the shoe on each foot because I'm going to say something now that people might disagree with, but like people have a pop for me being too sentimental in regards to the old guard. What I would say in response, it's also sometimes been a little bit too sentimental about the Sinisterra situation. You know, he wanted to get out. He played some games. We resolved it, and then he had the opportunity on the final day. The facts are, had that opportunity not arisen on the final day, he'd have stayed at Leeds United. He'd have had to stay. Something came up that worked for all parties. Did he go about it the wrong way? Yeah, but footballers make mistakes, a la Willie Nonto. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. We'll wait and see. It might not even become a reality. We might not even get promoted, and then in the bin anyway. He's gone. He's gone. So yeah, one to watch anyway. But as I've said to you before, would I take him back if we did get promoted and he said, "Yeah, I want to come back. I want to play for Leeds"? Then I would do. Then I would do that. Would you take Cine back? 66% say yes. I'm quite surprised. But listen, the quality of the player is not in question, I don't think, is it? A centre back that Leeds United have been linked with is now being linked with a Premier League move to Sheffield United. That is Chris Mepham. Chris Wilder wants to elbow Leeds aside in race for 12 million Premier League ace that loves Joe Rodon. Listen, I won't be paying 12 million. I don't think he's worth 12 million. I don't think that's the case anyway, but whoever's rewriting this is wild. This is coming from Alan Nixon. I don't have him on Twitter, unfortunately, but he claims Wilder has identified the Wales defender as a man to boost his side's options in the race to survive the threat of relegation. Now, of course, Premier League is massive, but if I'm Chris Mepham and he has an opportunity to come to Leeds, I'm going to Leeds. And listen, I like Sheffield United. I like the Blades. I don't mind them. What I mean by that is if he came and he impressed, does he get a new deal? If he goes to Sheffield United, he's getting relegated. They're done. They're done. There's only really Luton that have an outside chance for me. So yeah, apparently Sheffield United interested. But again, I'm not overly impressed with Chris Mepham anyway. He plays on the right side. He'd be coming in as cover for Rodon if we let Creswell go. And, he's not going to get minutes. So would he come? No. Josh Doig was on his way to Marseille. However, they're now looking at Renan Lodi, who was on loan at Nottingham Forest last season. He's over in Al Ittifaq, I believe, and could be coming to Marseille because the deal for Josh Doig has fallen through. Apparently, Arsenal may be looking at Josh Doig. Look, Arsenal are very, very light in that area. They let Kieran Tierney go on loan. They've only got Zinchenko. Zinchenko's just had a massive fall off. I do hate this narrative that he's a poor player now. I disagree. He's a midfielder by trade, but can play left back, of course. I remember when Leeds fans thought we could acquire him. Madness. But yeah, they do need another body in that area. I think Tomiyasu might be injured as well. So Josh Doig would be a great pickup for them. And even bigger pickup for Leeds United. But as I said, I think the money, I know it's only 6 odd million, but the fact he's been linked with big clubs in top divisions as opposed to the league below, it makes sense that one's a goner, I think. As much as we like Josh Doig, I don't see that happening. If it's still Verona in the summer, maybe we look at that. Maybe we look at that. Let's I just want again some more Luke Ayling propaganda for you. It never stops. Obviously we've seen Gio Rutter play the guitar for him. Luke Ayling said thank you, love you, marching on together, all that. Luke Ayling will always be ours. But again, remember when people bashed the leadership and what that means and all that sort of stuff. Look, Crescentio Somerville's been talking about him as well to the club's media team. He said it was a sad day. When I came through, he really helped me as a player and as a human being. He was a real leader. Even in the last couple of games when he wasn't really involved in the squad, he was there for us, for the players, for me. You really need that personality in your team to grow. We're really going to miss him, but that's business. I wish him all the best and hopefully I'll see him soon. Now, what I will not have anyone say anymore, you are not allowed, Nana. call into question the leadership qualities of Luke Ayling, of Stuart Dallas, of Liam Cooper, just because you don't rate the player. Oh, he's not a leader. He's not a leader. Listen to the lads that are in the dressing room. See the outcry, the outpouring of emotion for these players going, and hearing youngsters like Somerville, who didn't have the best start at Leeds, with Bielsa, with Jesse, with fans, myself included. So Luke Ayling's putting his arm around him, putting his arm around him. So don't please just remember this. You don't have to rate the player, but let's not. We know they've been great, but people say, leaders are never leaders, man. It's Tyler Adams, my captain, all that sort of shit. Anyway, Daily Mail. Daily Mail are now reporting. Let me just shout out new member 101 Art Club has just become a member of Just Joe FC. Big up to you, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. Let me just get this up. I missed this. Sorry, Gal. He says, I have to say this bit with Cooper and give him one more year. Just one more. Come on. Name me the last time we had a... Yeah, no, I hear you. And that's sentiment, Gary. But I thought he would get a one-year deal. Just because we're light in that area, he'd probably accept it, knowing he's not going to play much. But according to Phil and The Athletic, it's not going to happen. I'm still not convinced because maybe he pushes for a move now. Or is he just happy to be involved slightly? Although that could change after this weekend with Ampadu. Because Strouk's probably not fit for Sunday. He goes with Ampadu and Gruev in midfield, even if Cooper's fit. That might change Cooper's mind. We've still got 16 days left of the window, so let's watch this space on Cooper. Daily Mail now reporting on Charlie Creswell. Look, Charlie Creswell is a wanted man. Alan Nixon said this. There is a queue of clubs. He smashed it he had an up and down season, but overall he did really well at Millwall. He's not getting game time at Leeds. He's clearly fallen out of Fark. Not directly, but there's stuff there. Because he's not called into question. He's called into question the way he is around the training ground and stuff like that. Is he putting it in? Does he feel he needs to? Because what's the point? I'm not going to get in anyway, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's a wanted man. Clubs are aware of this. Leeds want about 4 or 5 million. If he is to leave permanently. But Daily Mail are now reporting that the defender is subject to strong interest from Middlesbrough, Bristol City and Millwall. Middlesbrough have already landed a defender, Luke Ayling, on loan, while Millwall are unsurprisingly linked after his fruitful New Den loan. Creswell ended that loan, proclaiming he couldn't have gone to a better club. It's been recently claimed that any permanent exit for Creswell will come in at a cost of around 4 to 5 million, having signed a new contract. Okay, which I think is good money for him, and it's all profit, but it could be another one of them that comes back to bite us if he goes and smashes it. I don't know if his on the ball ability is as good as, say, like a Rodon, etc. So you can understand why he's not getting in over Rodon, nor would I expect him to. But if we did get rid, I don't know. Could we have another Leeds Davis situation on our hands? Niall Huggins even at Sunderland smashing it as well. God, why do we continuously get linked to this guy, even now, even when he's not linked to Leeds? There is a story doing the round saying that Ryan Kent has strongly been moved with a move to Leeds United over the last few years. Ryan Kent, it's not even linked to Leeds. It's just the fact that he was once linked. So now that Steven Gerrard might take him to Saudi Arabia because he smashed it at Rangers, yeah, we've now got that story. It's nothing to do with us. Ryan Kent is not coming. Yeah, it wasn't on me. Basically, my ex's daughter broke her finger playing basketball at school, so she had to take her to hospital, so I had to have Harry. So that's why it wasn't on. But it'll be back this week, man. It'll be back this week. Yeah, more stories about Liam being allowed to leave in the summer. Let's watch this space on that. Barisic again being linked. It's bullshit, man. Don't listen to that. We're not after Borna Barisic. And that's probably it in terms of your Leeds United news up to this point. It's a slow news day. We've got that madman on Twitter telling everyone today is going to be a good day from Wacko1919, not the actual Wacko site. I think that's his Twitter, telling people today is going to be a good day. I think his latest tweet was, "Are you ready, you impatient lot? Maybe something happens at 2 o'clock. If it happens at 2 o'clock, I'll be back." But I don't see it at all. No, not for me either, Jamie. I don't think you can. Nah, it depends what level he's at. He's not going to be the same, is he? And if we get promoted, definitely not. Michael says, Creswell, but you don't know if it's for note, though, do you, Michael? I'd rather 49ers had more part. Why? Why have they given it? Listen, you just dislike dislike Fark. At the end of the day, we have to trust him. And you don't know that he's been bombed out for no. Why would he bomb him out for no? For no? Do you know what I mean? Well, it's not in the interests of everyone. Yeah, Vic, ain't that the truth? What did we say, bro? What did we say? And my man's not turning up for bloody Christmas events and that. You had other people telling you, probably, you know, Farker can't handle egos. It's not his fault. It's Farker's. Anyway, would you take Cine back? 66 have said yes. Quite surprised. Yeah, it's mad. Quite surprised that 66% would take him back. Actually, yeah, I'm really surprised. Actually, I thought people would be like, nah, definitely not. Yeah, this is the thing. I don't want a 40. Why would you want 49ers to have control of the squad? Why? We've seen that in more recent times. It's going to be interesting today, isn't it, Jamie? Both Everton and Nottingham Forest will find out their punishments. All I'll say is now, right? This now, we're probably going to see profit and sustainability and FFP are two different things, right? FFP is for Europe. Profit and sustainability is in the UK. And I actually feel, and the only reason I've said this previously is because it's like the rich stay rich, the poor stay poor, and there is an element to that. But I think it's starting to work. And why I say that is Newcastle aren't able to spend what they want in terms of they're the richest club in the world, but they're having to sell before they have to buy because they've had to do it within the means in a gradual process. And now we're seeing clubs that have come up and banged loads of money at it. Everton have been frivolous for a long time. Forest went wild, signing players they didn't need to sign, signing dead players at that as well. That potentially we're now starting to see P&S come into fruition. Chelsea are going to have their days, they're not careful. I actually feel that we now might be starting to see the success of P&S. It's frustrating for fans. Even Arsenal fans are fuming at the minute because they don't really have spare cash and are blaming Arteta for that. But it's all about that. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think, is that not FFP? I don't know. Listen, it just looks. I think it's, yeah. It might. We'll have to wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. Because we're sticking to the rules, aren't we? We're sticking to the rules. Yeah, we move. Listen, 620 people watching here. Big up to you all. Please do smash a like on the video. I hope you're enjoying the new shorts content. Let me know if you want to see more of that. I've enjoyed them going out across all socials. We did a nice little one on Gruyev yesterday with Ollie Ward saying he was like Busquets, which I really liked. So yeah, hopefully you're liking that. Please subscribe as well. We're seeing a lot of growth as well, which is great. Massively helps the channel. We want 30k before the season's done. We're about a quarter of the way to 27. Do it, man. When, mate? I'm not in. Oh, on YouTube Shorts. Yeah, of course. It's cold today in my house. I've had me eating on. It's still cold. My feet are freezing, man. Love the content. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, that's wow. Okay, that's decent, isn't it? Anyway, right, yeah, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in and all that jazz. I'll be back later on tonight. What that looks like, yeah, I'm not too sure. It could be a scouting report at centre backs. It might just be an evening news roundup, okay? But yeah, it's quite quiet day today. We've gone through Ben Johnson, could be on his way to Spain. via a pre-contract agreement, and we're finding out and hearing on the grapevine that Liam Cooper will not, I repeat, will not be offered a new deal at Leeds United, which makes me sad. Like the stream and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. Peace out. Thanks, David.